Welcome to LightHouse KinShip's devotional video, The Righteousness of Faith, Romans 4:13, 16, and 17 Amplified. For the promise to Abraham or to his descendants that he would be heir of the world was not through observing the requirements of the law, but through the righteousness of faith. Therefore, inheriting the promise depends entirely on faith, that is, confident trust in the unseen God, in order that it may be given as an act of grace, his unmerited favor and mercy, so that the promise will be legally guaranteed to all the descendants of Abraham, not only for those Jewish believers who keep the law, but also for those Gentile believers who share the faith of Abraham, who is the spiritual father of us all.
As it is written in Scripture, I have made you a father of many nations, in the sight of him in whom he believed, that is, God, who gives life to the dead and calls into being that which does not exist. Today is Sunday, August 28th, 2022. Monica and I are here at the Corwin M. Nixon Covered Bridge over the Little Miami River in Waynesville, Ohio.
At the age of 75, Abraham began a righteous journey with God. He experienced the God who gives life to death and calls into being that which does not exist. Genesis chapter 12, the Lord spoke to Abraham and told him to go to a land that God would direct him to, and God was going to make him a great nation. Being Abraham's traveling guide was all great, but I am sure Abraham was looking in total confusion on how am I to be a great nation since my wife Sarah is beyond childbearing years.
Genesis 21, verses 1, 2, and 5 NLT. The Lord kept his word and did for Sarah exactly what he had promised. She became pregnant, and she gave birth to a son for Abraham in his old age. This happened at just the time God had said it would. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was born.
25 years passed before Abraham received the promise of his and Sarah's son Isaac. During those 25 years, Abraham was tested and tried as silver is tried. He endured crushing circumstances and walked through the waters of many afflictions.
Psalm 33, verses 18 to 22 NASB. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who wait for his faithfulness, to rescue their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield, for our heart rejoices in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your favor, Lord, be upon us, just as we have waited for you.
Are you like Abraham, waiting for God to give life to what is dead and calling into being that which does not exist? Has God given you promises like Abraham's that are truly impossible? Habakkuk chapter 2, the last part of verse 4, the righteous shall live by his faith. How are we, who are sinful human beings, made righteous?
Romans 3:22 NLT. We are made right with God by placing our faith in Jesus Christ. And this is true for everyone who believes, no matter who we are.
Putting our faith in Jesus Christ makes us righteous. So how do we walk, live by faith?
Hebrews 11, verses 1, 2, 8, and 11 Amplified. Now faith is the assurance, title deed confirmation of things hoped for, divinely guaranteed, and the evidence of things not seen, the conviction of their reality. Faith comprehends as fact what cannot be experienced by the physical senses. For by this kind of faith the men of old gained divine approval. By faith Abraham, when he was called by God, obeyed by going to a place which he was to receive as an inheritance, and he went, not knowing where he was going. By faith even Sarah herself received the ability to conceive a child, even when she was long past the normal age for it, because she considered him who had given her the promise to be reliable and true to his word.
Has God of heaven and earth given you a promise that only He can bring forth? Bobby and I, like Abraham and Sarah, are waiting and watching for that which is dead to be restored and call into being that which does not exist. This concludes our devotional video of Lighthouse KinShip, the righteousness of faith. Faith is not the belief that God will do what you want. Faith is the belief that God will do what is right. Max Lucado. To trust God in the light is nothing, but to trust God in the dark, that is faith. Charles Spurgeon.
Monica and I thank you for traveling along with us here today at the Caesars Creek Pioneer Village, Waynesville, Ohio. Come along and journey with us by subscribing to our channel. Hit that little notification bell so that you won't miss our next stop. And please give us a thumbs up, liking our videos, and help us to spread the gospel by sharing these videos on your social media platforms. Thank you for leaving your comments below on how these devotions are helping you, and also your prayer requests so that we know how to pray for you.